Good evening, friends, family, loved ones, and enemies. Gee, I feel like Mark Antony. Friends, Romans, countrymen, lend me your ears.
Betty, we came to stay employed, not to seek employment.
Et tu, Dominique Review Productions brings you classic entertainment in a modern world and in a vintage manner, with the task of keeping the golden age of radio alive in, at the end of my club, Hollywood 1930's, with Dominique Breckenridge as Betty Gray and Jasper Mawson as Rachel Ellis Hagan. Let's step into the lot of the studio where Rachel has landed a temporary position as a script check girl, where anything is possible, even the impossible, which usually is the case when it comes to Betty and Rachael. Fresh air, beaming sun, faithful breeze, beautiful view.
This has to be the best vacation spot in the world.
Yeah, this is the life.
And we're living it up.
Aren't we though?
Hold it a minute, Betty. Hey, Roger, keep pedaling, will you? We can use a change of scenery. Let's go to the Alps. Marco, turn the fan blower up a little bit, huh?
Guess we better ditch these Mai Tais and pick up some winter coats.
Let's head over to the wardrobe department before the cast and crew come back from their break.
Which reminds me, Rach, I've been meaning to ask you, how'd you square it with Roger and Marco to sneak us in here?
Actually, I'm stuck in a bit of a triangle. I more or less told both of them I'd go out on a date with each one, unbeknownst to the other.
That's no triangle, that's a circle.
Isn't it? Betty,
Would I what?
would you carry my tie while I go get the coats?
Yeah.
Betty, quick! Let's make it for the bleachers. I think I hear someone coming. Remember, Roger and Marco, you haven't seen us.
Hey, Rachel, do you know who that is walking in here?
Vincent Minnelli.
Exactly. This could be my big break. I've been itching to see him for months.
Keep making so much noise and you will be itching for handcuffs. What am I saying? If I keep running my mouth, so will I. They'll snatch me up as an accomplice.
How can they do that, Rachel? You work here.
Yeah, under a temporary basis. I haven't been hired on yet.
Relax, Rachel. Calm down. I am an actress. I'll just act. I've got to start somewhere. Watch this. Oh, Mr. Minnelli! You know, for as many times as I've heard that name on this set, I ought to bypass the middleman and sneak up to him personally. Now, listen, Mr. Minnelli. Before you call to send me out of the gate, hear me out first. I'm Betty Gray, and before you sign me to that contract...
Betty, what are you doing in the studio cafeteria? I've been at every police station in California looking for you.
What for? They can't pin those charges on me. I told them those numbers were dimensions for a new patio I wanted to build when I save up for my house.
Pull it, Jane Kelly. I saw the way Mr. Minnelli looked at you when you came away from those bleachers.
Oh, that. Why, Rachel, didn't you stick around long enough to find out what happened?
You mean before or after I took out running toward the nearest door and yelled, "Security!"
My pal. Here I thought you were like my sister Eileen when all the time you were butt addicts.
You read the New Yorker too, huh? Look, Betty, I would never leave you high and dry.
Just slow and dirty.
Right. No! Betty, you're blowing this way out of proportion.
If the shoe fits, I have no control over the shape of your feet.
Betty, focus.
First time that's actually been used on me. I applaud you, Rachel.
Thank you. Now sit down here at the counter and tell me what happened. I'll have Daisy fix us up some coffee.
Oh, no, Rachel. I couldn't drink a sip. Rachel, get down from the counter. What are you doing holding onto the edges with that death grip and your legs strapped onto the frying griddle?
Excuse me, the earth just shifted. I think I lost my balance. I just find it downright shocking to believe that you don't want coffee. Why, it's impossible.
The magic word for the day Impossible. What'd I tell you? Carry on.
Dare I say, it's a matter of fact, downright impossible. Betty Gray doesn't want coffee. Sit down, Betty. Sit down. You've got to tell me the plot.
Rachel, there's no need to be so dramatic. That's my department. After I got a chance to talk to Mr. Manelli, he's really a very charming man. He was so taken aback, he offered to take me out to dinner. That's where it's coming from now.
For him to reach far aback, must be.
Let me explain. When I got Mr. Manelli to open up...
Wait a minute. Open up?
Oh, yeah, I dipped him in my handbag.
But you didn't.
Sure I did. I had a package of peanut brittle I couldn't get out, so he reached in and pulled them out for me, and before I could say, I wouldn't do that if I were you, I've got something in my purse other than brittle, the clown from my jack-in-the-box popped out, and after that, he was a barrel of laughs.
Betty, why would you have a jack-in-the-box on your person?
For two reasons. One, to scare away the riffraff that hang around, because that old, I'll just wear a ring on my right finger business doesn't work any more than a fly swatter. And the other is for the exact same reason I needed it today, to strike up a conversation. Any further questions?
I'm good.
Rachel, don't make any sudden moves, or cause any instant reactions, or attract any attention in any way over toward us. Guess who just walked in the door? Errol Flynn. Oh, don't turn around. Don't turn around. What did I say? No sudden moves, reactions, or attractions. Well, between the two of us, that last one may be pretty hard. Excuse me. Rachel, I'll be right back.
I'll keep the fort. If only I could just turn to see him. Gee, I've never seen Errol Flynn up close. He swung past me once on my way out of stage 11. Whew! Sword in one hand, latch rope in the other. Rats, I just gotta see him. I could drop my napkin such a... Marvin to Marcia, I dropped my sandwich again. I keep forgetting I stuffed my napkins with these. No harm no done. I'll just look over my shoulder.
You don't listen too good, do you, Rachel?
But Betty,
Didn't I say no sudden moves? Betty, and here I come back to see you flopping off the bar stool like you're a dolphin diving underwater.
you should know.
Now put your legs down and sit up straight.
Telephone call for Miss Betty Gray. Telephone call for Miss leading star actress Betty Gray. Silver screen close-ups are my speciality. Betty Gray.
Here, boy. Enough already. I said make like we were at the Brown Derby, not like I'm the main attraction at the Kentucky Derby.
Hey, what are you doing?
I'm answering my telephone call.
What's on the other end of the telephone?
I don't know. Ask Alexander Graham Bell. But listen, if you get a direct answer, then, honey, you better check what's on the other end of your line.
You know what I mean. What is the farce for? For whose benefit?
I've never heard someone ask so many questions. Honestly, you'd think I'm auditioning to be on the quiz program. If you must know, Professor Quiz, it's for Errol Flynn.
I thought you said not to attract attention.
Yeah, not to attract attention. I didn't say anything about attention being attracted. The way I figured it, I make with a telephone call, and Mr. Flynn over there takes notice, and before you know it, I'm being discussed as a must, and his next picture as his leading lady.
Then I'm afraid you're in for some abstract arithmetic.
Why? What gives?
Mr. Errol Flynn's mustache. He keeps up with the slurping routine.
What?
Betty, that's not Errol Flynn. That's Benny McKenzie. He's Errol Flynn's double in when the case fits. So far, he hasn't needed one, but hey, you can never be too sure, too safe, too sound when it comes to actors.
That's a bunch of hogwallop. While Errol Flynn will be jumping off staircases, castles, and out of windows when the Adventures of Don Juan comes along.
That may or may not be. But what is to be is not Errol Flynn.
Thank you, William Ellis Shakespeare. Oh, well, there's no need to try my luck twice in one day anyhow. Let's head over to the main office, Rachel. I've got to go pick up some papers before I come back to the studio.
Oh, sure thing. But, Betty, you haven't told me what you were doing.
Oh, well, it's kind of unclear. Something about jumping off some platform from some crane into some water. I don't know. It's sort of a, if you make it and don't break it, we'll see what we can do kind of a gig.
That sounds a little Busby Berkeley to me. Who knows, Betty? We're starting at the bottom of the studio, but who knows where this could lead us? Where we could end up going and growing from here.
Rachel, this could be the start of something big.
Move over, Edie Gourmet.
Not yet, Rachel. Not yet. Carry on. Hey, Rach, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Listen as I run my lines for the broadcast tomorrow night, will you?
Mm-hmm.
Good. Listen, Rachel, how do you expect you to hear me with a pillow covering your head?
Fine. Hello.
Thanks. Now, Rachel, please take the cotton balls out of your ears.
Carry on.
That's my line.
Not on this page.
Right. Moving on. Can I take a bit of your time? You won't need to spend a dime. All the news delivered from me is free. Take a pen to paper or a line to wire, whatever form deems fit, because I give you fair warning. Once I spill, that'll be it. You may be familiar with the title My Sister Eileen, often through the portrayal of Rosalind Russell in Janet Blair in 1942, or the musical version with Betty Garrett and Janet Leigh in 1955, or even confused, understandably so, with My Friend Irma on the radio program in the 1940s. But before the play, before the movie, this sister story came from a publication in the New Yorker based on a true story about Ruth McKinney, which later became a book in 1938. Special report, actress Irene Dunne and Charles Boyer star as Terry and Michelle in 1939's love affair. This love story has been shared to so many people over the years, mostly through the eyes of Cary Grant and Deborah Kerr in Affair to Remember in 1957 with the same director from the original Leo McCarey, as well as other remakes that have made the screen through the years as movie making goes. But one has to be holding a special place in one's heart for the timeless, seamless beauty of the simplistic black and white film with such complementary actors as Charles Boyer and Irene Dunne. The film opens March 16, 1939 in New York, New York, everywhere April 7th the same year. Breaking news. You recognize that shape. It may not fit your head, but it's a hat to fill nonetheless. The original Brown Derby in Los Angeles opens at 3427 Wilshire Boulevard in 1926. Did someone say telephone call for Mr. Clark Gable? Hollywood stars of stars cover the backdrop from the walls to the seats in caricatures and in person as the second Brown Derby in Hollywood opens on Valentine's Day 1929 at 1628 North Vine Street in Hollywood. The Hollywood Brown Derby opened a building specifically designed for Cecil B. DeMille near the corner of Hollywood and Vine. As the history with its locations could go on and on, for the chain it seems endless to end, I bid you adieu. See you at the Derby. Rachel! Tyrone Howard in my closet!
Betty, that's the poster you ripped off the wall at the press studio department before you took off running full speed ahead when Gus tried to pull on the cuffs right before you screamed, "No, really! I work here!"
I remember now.
So do I. My wrists are still pounding from the cuffs. Next time you have any more bright ideas, make sure they don't involve telling anyone. She made me do it. It was all her idea. She told me to stick on my hands, take it, and run.
Everybody. Again, the Lifeboat says good night as we remind you that all the women's wardrobe worn in tonight's broadcast were provided by my line, Dominique's Private Collection. In addition to myself, Dominique Breckenridge and Betty Gray, we heard the voices say good night to Jasmine Lofton as Rachel Ellis Hagan. Be sure to tune in next week, same time, same place. Until then, good night, everybody. This has been a Dominique Preview production. Ta-da.
Cagney.
Okay, hold on, I'll do it again. Okay. What for? They can't pin those charges on me. I told them those were the numbers. Now I can't get it. Okay. What for? They can't charge me. Ah!
I saw the way Mr. Minnelli looked at you when you...
Call it that second take.
Okay. New York... Oh, wait. Okay. You read the New Yorker, too. What I can...
Carry on. While we love Marlon Brando around here, especially the youthful one, now just really isn't the time for him to come onto the set. So if you will excuse me, forget to put it on airplane mode every freaking time.
If he keeps up with the celebrities, sorry. What? If he keeps up with the celebrities, okay. Sorry.
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay. Hey, you can never be too sure. To be too safe. Oh, to be safe. To sound when it comes to actors. What?
Okay. You can never be too sure, too safe, too sound when it comes to actors.
Okay.
You can do the whole line.
Who knows, Betty? Now we're starting to
It's okay. You're envisioning us. Like, we're at the bottom now, but... That's what we're...